Hello, folks.
Good evening, how are we doing?
Let's tilt that back a bit. There we go. See how that works out. How's everyone doing? We got 17, 19 people, 11 thumbs up.
How's everybody doing this evening?
And we're back down to light and frame. What the deuce?
Yeah, so you forgot to turn off the lights.
Oh, yes. Right, hang. Ha-ha! Oh, how's it going, bud?
Good. Good, yourself.
Good, good. Welcome to Canucks with Guitars. I'm Ben. He's Rich.
Welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, let's see. What do we have happen in the last week while I'm bringing up the fine folks in the chat? Who was I hanging out with last week? Rob Johnson.
Yeah.
We had Rob Johnson on. Talk about his EVH replica collection, which he actually got another one the day after we were talking. He now has a striped Les Paul, which Eddie was given to by Gibson or Les Paul himself. So it's got the striped package, including headstock, which looks pretty snazzy, and it's got, like, I think the original had a Trains trim on it, so it's got a Steinberger trim system on it. Yeah. So quite interesting. Oh, we got an ad. You know what? I'll let the ad play. Let's see, who do we have in the chat? Oh wow, lots of people. We have Joe Hervey 84. We have Vincent Wiener. He says, "Hey gang, it's raining here in San Francisco." We've got Alex Radford. We've got Guitared It. We got I Rock the Blues. We have the man Scott Nickerson. More on him later. Ron Limber. Bam Mozzie. Jack Clark. Terry's GG&G.
Good evening, Terry.
Denny Allen, Brian Cote,
Hello.
David Ennis,
Hello.
Johnny Beane,
Salutations.
Frank Corcoran, Charlie S. Good to see you, brother. Quentin James is awake.
Evening.
We got Gary Holt. He says, "Sorry I'm late. I had to sit through a Joe Bonamassa ad before it let me in." Yes.
Quentin, I'm surprised you're able to tune in. It's metric time. Did you have to reset your clock to be able to tune in at the same time? Tune in for the correct time here, brother.
Michael B. Timothy Lynch.
Wah, wah, wah.
Queen Diana Desert. Janice Lala's in the house.
Hello.
Robert Metzenberg.
Good evening.
Wolverella, Guitar Hack. Jamal Kareem. Brad Miller.
Hello.
John Parson. There we
are.
Greetings and welcome all to the Big Shoe. What are we talking about tonight? Well, a little bit of a clickbait there. This is our last Canucks with Guitar show ever.
This is the last Canucks with Guitar show ever.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
We're moving to Mondays, folks. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Aha!
Thursdays just happens to work best for our singer for her schedule for practice, so...
And she did bribe me. There was a bag of cookies involved.
And there's also giant cookie pie things, too, that everybody asked.
Yes. Les Paul gave Edward a Les Paul with a Floyd Rose and Ed wished he didn't have it. Oh. Or wished it didn't have it. Yes, I remember that now, yes. Because Les had a Les Paul made with a Floyd, and he's like, I wish it was a real Les Paul hardtail.
Well, I mean, you can't win them all.
Rick Hefner, hope you're talking about me. We're talking about you, dude. So awesome. So if you guys have any questions or comments, any gear you're gassing after, let us know. We'll discuss it. We do have a package to open.
Speaking of gear gassing, so I meant to mention this last week, but I completely slipped. We actually got running pretty good for time, and I was like, I'll say that for next week.
Carryover content.
Carryover content. So, as has been well discussed umpteen million times on here, is I've never been satisfied, shall we say, personally, with the sound I've gotten from any Mesa Boogie amp I have had the privilege of using, because they've not been mine, because and the aforementioned kind of explains that. But I have used other people's before, and like, yeah, I mean, for what they do, and like, and you did bring up that quote last week about them, that it's not so much that I don't like Mesa Boogies, it's that I associate Mesa Boogie with the triple rectifier sound, which it is exactly it. And of course, that makes me prejudiced against some of their other offerings. Which
thank you, Janice.
Being the Incubus fan I am, I'm well aware of the fact they make some very, very nice amps. They don't do that at all whatsoever, and they do a totally different
Santana.
thing. Precisely, and I overlook things like that until I seen an ad in this month's Guitar World for the new California Tweed bottle.
Oh yes, right.
Oh, and I just saw it, and I looked at it, and I just saw the big 6v6 on the front of it, and I went,
yes, because you showed me the ad last week.
Yes.
And then I forgot
they
about it as well.
have the little powder blue combo in the ad, and then the little
Brian
small...
Cote loves the TC50. I assume it's a Mesa hood.
Mm.
Which I could see, because, Infinite Guru, hello. Yeah, Brian uses a Mesa head for his main dirt, like he's been going live and stuff like that. And he runs that through an aux box into his interface.
Okay, yeah.
So that way he can play in here, but have your Mesa head
have your
turn to 7.
Set, yeah.
To get that
good
breakup.
Really working nicely.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not
Mesa
saying...
Triple Crown.
I'm not saying in any negative thing about
Thank
the
you,
Mesa
Brian.
Boogie amps. Not like, oh, they're crap made, or like, blah, blah, blah. No, I just... The triple rectifier sound is not necessarily my thing. But getting back is, they make a lot of amps that don't do that. And the California Tweed, I'm kind of lusting for right now.
We have Brandon Buttcheeks in the chat right now.
Hey, buddy. Yeah,
He says
6v6,
yeah.
40 watts, scalable down to 2 watts.
Crowbar.
It's available in powder blue.
What's up,
so
Doc?
that immediately got me peaked and interested. And yeah, really sporty looking amp. Very, very versatile. I've watched one of the review videos and I was like, I kind of think I need one of those.
So, Brendan says, really enjoyed the Jazzmaster video, Ben. I assume he's talking, I did a video on the Buttercream Player Series, Jazzmaster.
Ah, yeah.
Other than, I don't like that trim system. Which I realized, that bar is so long, you can almost touch the pickup selector. I can't put my finger in between.
They're enormous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Absolutely enormous.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely
But
enormous.
he's drawn to that and the Powercaster. We were talking about the Powercaster earlier. We're hoping there's
fact.
one in stock when, for the first Monday show, folks, we will be broadcasting live from Arden's Music in Trenton, Ontario.
Hanging out with Tim.
Yes.
It's going to be cool. It's
And
going to be fun.
the store will actually be closed because they close at 8 p.m.
They close early on Monday, so...
So it's not like Tim has to do double duty and serve customers and have to leave us and stuff. Anyone enter the Henning Pauly HB guitar raffle? Not yet. I want to. Henning Pauly brought a signature Harley Benton guitar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They're pretty nice. He only did 42, of course. And he licked the 42nd one.
Nice.
As I fully expect Henning to. What are we? We're 8.5 minutes in. Another minute and a half and maybe we'll open a package. Maybe. 45 people watching. Awesome. 20 thumbs ups. Hey, John BL 5150's in the house. Will Varela says, so kind of Strat is Richie playing. I see the big headstock. Because we have a lot of changeover.
I don't know. I think, that isn't what I would consider to be the big
No, that's a small headstock.
Yeah, it's maybe it's just a weird angle I'm holding it at, but maybe that's a little more scale. It's my Strat, Suzanne. She's nothing terribly fancy. It's I always forget. A 2011
Awesome, Michael B.
Mexican Stratocaster that somebody at some point in time really loved and overhauled and put all gold hardware on.
Yeah, Guitar Hack gold hardware.
Probably not. Oh wait, it's gonna show up really well.
Yeah, because we have bandwidth now.
Oh, all right.
Wait.
Let's see if I can get that just right. All right,
let me get the Quentin James lighting in here.
Here we go. There we go. There we are. That, yes, sir. That is the big feller himself, dangling up on the cross. Yep. A hologram of the big feller dangling up on the cross.
Guitar Hack's like, no, gold!
So, I went in to buy another
Hey, Johnny Lovett.
Stratocaster, and it was unfortunately gone. But this one was there in its place. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, because I'm not really super partial to Sunburst Strats, to be honest. But the black pickguard saved it. If I had a white pickguard, I probably would have walked out over like a $40 pickguard, which is kind of stupid, but I would have, out of principle. And it was funny because I'd owned it for a couple months and I was jamming at Rory's one time, actually.
Right.
And I brought it out. And he's like, oh, the only thing it's missing is the SRV on the pickguard. I'm like, what? He's like the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat. I'm like, oh, crap, it is! No, it's not that I don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan, but once I realized that it was the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat, it's like, oh man, every time I'm going to play this, people are like, play Texas Flood! But,
okay.
I like it. It's a very good specimen of a Mexican Strat. I played a lot of Mexican Stratocasters in my day. But, I'm really attached to this.
Is it wrong to play another brick in the wall on a Mexican Strat? Ooh, Krell bar. Ooh. Hey, Todd Flowers. Ron Limber liked the Quentin James lighting. Because I don't know if he told you about that when he came on for the roundtable, he's showing off a guitar, but since he has no lighting.
The lighting is using the Bic.
A64 T-Bird has an odd question, to say the least. Hi, Ben. Have you ever thought about cutting your hair, shaving your beard, and wearing a motorcycle jacket? No on the hair, probably not on the beard, and I've been wearing a motorcycle jacket for 30 some odd years. Sad trombone. Michael B likes the Strat.
Well, thank you. She's nothing fancy, but I really like it. It's kind of...
Ron Limber likes Strats, he says.
It's one of my favorite guitars that I own, for sure. It's probably the one that I play the most, that's definitely for sure.
Hey, Blackjack's in the house.
I'm really attached to
Canucks.
It. It's worth more to me than
she
it's
said
worth
Canucks, but we'll let it go. Nice. Todd Flowers likes it.
Well, thanks, Chad.
Alright. What do we got here? See,
Someday
I gotta put my hat in frame
may,
to see how many people. We got 53 people in the house, so...
Oh, well, that's a good time then.
So, there was a video I put out on Saturday. I was telling you about it.
Yes.
I'm getting sick of moving delay pedals back and forth from board to board.
Yes.
So I put out a call for anybody wanting to sell a cheap delay, trade a delay, and I've got numerous deals in the works on various stuff. So Scott Nickerson and I worked out a deal, and he sent me this. If I can open the tamper-proof packaging without using a blade, we'll see. Maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no.
That can be enough. Oh, wait, there we go.
Oh, there she blows. Oh.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
It's a black box with a silver logo on the top.
Oh, there she be, all kit and caboodled and everything. So, we got in bubble wrap and such. Yeah, that thing, he said he only used it for about an hour. A spare carbon copy. So, this will be going on my gigging board. And that way I can have some piece of Scott Nickerson mojo on the gigging board. And because I did forget it here at last practice, my carbon copy can stay there. So that's what they look like new. I'm just looking at it because mine doesn't have half the sparkle anymore, probably because it's got a layer of tarnish on the thing. But thank you very much, Scott. Awesome stuff. Very cool. Very cool.
Groovy.
Yes. More to come on that whole delay thing, folks. You'll see. Including a contest. Including a contest. Did I mention there's going to be a contest coming up where you can win a delay pedal?
That'd be cool.
Yes. Cool, it's not the same, Will says. Yeah.
Speaking of things that are not the same,
media.
the small stone.
Yeah, did you see the new paint job?
Yeah!
I love the new paint
go
job.
figure, right after I buy myself a small stone, they come out with a funky new paint job for it.
Hey, Van Helsing.
Just my luck, eh?
You came? Awesome. Yeah, everybody jumping in tonight. This is awesome. Good to see everyone. So, what else we got going on this week? I saw, what did I see? Oh, thank you, Terry. You just put a link to the merch store, which I did see. You saw in the Facebook group the other day. Todd Flowers got his shirt, and the lovely Shauna Marie Sings, who's been putting up some videos, she ordered a hoodie.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, there's Lionheart Whitemane. Good to see you, buddy. I'm waiting for a new hashtag from him tonight, since he came up with tone hair. People are talking baseball. Man, is it baseball season already? Oh, scrolling back, we got Labyrinth Guitar
Yeah,
Works.
I think the Jays are playing this afternoon, actually.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, opening day or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. We got Labyrinth Guitar Works. That's a new name to the channel. Welcome. And anyone else that's tuning in for the first time, if you enjoy this, definitely please subscribe. Terry says Tone Beard. All right.
Tone Beard.
Hey, Laz is in the house.
Actually, you know what? There's some credence to that. I'm sure if you were to ask William Formal Gibbons, he would tell you there's some
the Reverend himself.
The Rev would tell you Tone Beard's a real thing. He'd tell you it flat out.
Laz says I made it to
like,
a
you
live
gotta
show.
use 7-gauge strings and you gotta have a beard down your britches.
Ron Limber says, or asks, when was the last time either of you went to a hockey game?
Professional or just a hockey game like in an arena where
any hockey game. For me, it's been about 10 years. Whatever Matt Sundin's return to Toronto was the year he played for Vancouver. I was at that game.
Last game I saw in person, like an NHL game, would have been a Senators Islanders game, and this would have been, oh god, a long time ago.
Yes, Will. Will's asking, is the logo in black the one that was the thumbnail tonight? Yes, that's our original logo, which is still available in the merch store in either black or white, depending on what shirt color you want. You want a black shirt, white logo, you can do that. You want a white shirt with a black logo, you can do it. You want to do a black shirt with a black logo.
There's a snazzy looking yellow one too.
Yeah, the yellow one's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the reds, the retro ones. Hey, we got Michael Q. Lynn in the house.
Good evening, sir.
Good to see you, sir. He's been commenting on a bunch of stuff. He just missed me live yesterday, I guess. He got home just after I wrapped up, so he's catching the replay. Because he left a comment. By the time I went back upstairs, there was already a comment on the video, and it was like, catching the replay. I'm like, wow, photo finish. I'm missing the end of it live. It was awesome.
Really?
Oh, awesome. Will says, great. I'll order 2 shirts in black.
Cool. Thank you.
Lionheart Whitemane. Tone Commando. Tone. Oh, okay, because Terry said tone boxer briefs.
Oh.
See, we don't have underwear yet. For some reason, the website doesn't have underwear. I do ladies' underwear.
They probably for the better anyway.
Yeah, like you want our logo across your butt.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank Quinn.
Yeah.
Quentin James, I'm back, was making a cup of coffee and Sylvester decided he wanted to play in the kitchen sink. Oh, so did you miss the Quentin James style guitar show off? Rewind and check that out. That's all I'm saying. Because Quentin will laugh and he'll probably screenshot it and post it on his channel.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the story is behind that strat, because I imagine it's probably got a good one. Somebody loved the hell out of that.
Oh, yeah.
At one point in time.
Am I using the vape to quit cigarettes? In a sense, although I quit cigarettes 5 years ago. Although I am cutting down on the vaping. I vape a lot live, but I don't vape a lot otherwise. I was at a fight once and a hockey game broke out. Damnedest thing I ever saw.
It's regular occurrence in these parts.
Yeah. Blackjack, how's your sister liking your new guitar? She hasn't received it yet. Tomorrow, I think, I will be doing a setup on it, and then get over to her place sometime next week, I would imagine. We're trying to figure it. So I mentioned a lot, giving it what. So they're like, so what amps you gonna use? I'm like, damn. So I was thinking she can either have my PV Viper, or I got that little pod deal too, because if she's going to be practicing through headphones all the time and doesn't want a bulky amp in the living room or something, I got that little, it's like one of those Line 6 pods.
The kidney beans.
Yeah, but it's made by a Moon. It was one of the things Tom King sent me.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, and it's got a metronome, drum beats and stuff that you can play along with, so it's got some okay presets on it. Probably great to someone who doesn't have any preset, but yeah, I was like, yeah, these are alright.
Yeah.
Laz asked, you guys see the 2018 Gibson Player Plus Les Pauls getting blown out at Guitar Center, went to check it, went out at a local store and a guy right at the counter got the last one, man. Yeah, I heard they're like half price. Like,
oh, wow.
They're going for like $1,500, $1,800 US.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, Chris, Guitar Pit, picked up a Les Paul there a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Because they just kept coming down in price, and he's like, well, how can I not? So,
yeah, I mean...
Best thing you've ever quit smoking cigarettes, that is. Exactly. Hey, there's Aaron. He says, better late than never. We were texting earlier there.
Nah.
Oh, excuse me. He's got a couple sick kids at home there, so...
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Ron Lumber says he can't type fast. That's okay. That's okay. Not everybody needs to type fast. Well, we got 57 people watching. So, we should mention, I did see registration for Cosmo Music Fest opened yesterday. For those in the Southern Ontario region that are planning on attending, I highly recommend pre-registering.
Yes, pre-registering.
Cuts down the lineup big time. You're in like 5 minutes.
The scornful looks you get from people waiting in line is worth the pre-registering alone.
Yeah.
They're like, who's this asshole? Who's in it? Like,
oh yeah, because remember, like,
just
especially
trot up and you're like, whip out your phone, and buddy's like, bloop, bloop. And then you go
especially
through the
when we'd leave and then we'd be coming back and they'd be lined up down the block, and we just walking by like 700 people. We got a pass.
No, it's
total
blast here. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got a cool deal there. Remember, like where you swiped at all the booths for draws, and it's built into your wristbands. You beep.
Yeah. Instead of filling out stupid things at every single booth to enter their draw, you just walk up.
Oh, Curlbar, he cracks me up so much. He says, I never started smoking and interfered with my heroic intake of buckets of fried chicken. Alright. Buckets of fried chicken. There's Shauna Marie. We were just talking about you earlier. Okay, helping your daughter with homework. You got your sweatshirt yesterday and love it. Awesome. I'll wear it with pride. That's so cool. That's so cool. And I should mention also, there's going to be a demo coming out soon, and I'm curious that you'll want to take part in that. We have the, I want to call it the Seguro. That's a great from Lawrence Petros Design.
Oh, cool.
On the way. Yeah, he sent me a video which was a shootout of 2 pedals. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. He goes, yeah, which one do you want? I'm like, okay. And one sounded a little fizzier, mid-scoop, if you want to call it. I don't think it was a mid, but it just had a little bit of a sizzle to it that I didn't care for. And then the other one, I was like, oh yeah, that's my sound. Well, it turns out it's kind of like a Klon-esque. And he had recommended to me about a month ago that would be the one to check out because he knew I'm into Klon style overdrives. But it's a micro-sized pedal, single knob, but the single knob does more than one thing. So it's like as you give it more gain, maybe we'll roll some of the top end off at the same time. So it's some kind. I don't know. There's mojo in that knob. That's all I know from what I see. And I saw the first review, and I was like, oh, and then yeah, there was another pedal, the Modern Classic, because you know I've been trying to replace my Sparkle Drive for a couple of years.
Yes.
So I said, do you do like Sparkle Drive? He goes, yeah, Modern Classic. Check it out. So he sends me some links to check out. The first one I checked out, I was like, all right, you know, guy's playing on a Strat, doing kind of SRV thing, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. The second video, the guy's playing a Tele. And he's like, oh yeah, it's pretty much made for Tele. So I'm like, yeah, I can tell. Oh yeah. I was like, that will be my half the night, low gain. So
nice.
I'm putting away the nickels and quarters right now for it, so we'll have it soon enough.
Groovy.
Yes, but yeah, we do have the pedal coming. I figure it's got so much mojo, we'll have to both play around with it and see what's going on. And
cool.
That'll end up on the board for sure. Guaranteed, because boutique is boutique. It's a one-man operation. Doesn't get any more boutique than that.
Very true.
Oh, let's see here. I may upload a demo of it. Awesome, Lionheart. Wait, what do you have? Do you have one of those pedals? Let's see here. Everyone's saying hey to each other. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Seguro. That is what it's called. Thanks, Blackjack. It's like a picture of a cactus on it and shit.
Seguro.
Yeah. We'll look it up after this.
Groovy. Very groovy.
Hey, Jeff Harper. Good to see you. Was talking about, oh, the modded Strat. Ah, okay. Cool, cool. Alright, so Hack is registered for Cosmo Music Fest as of today.
Awesome.
Cool. And I haven't seen him in the chat, but if you're catching the replay, we hope to see Zach Thong there. We missed him last year. And Brian Cote may be there as well.
I'm just gonna check, because I don't... Yeah, I haven't got the email. Like,
Odd.
huh? Are you ready for Cosmo Music Fest?
Was that today?
Registration. When did I get this? Yesterday.
That's it.
I don't know why my junk mail filtered that. That's weird. Well, I'm registering right now.
Does it get much more Canadian than registering for Cosmo Music Fest on a live stream?
Come Cosmo Music Fest.
Hope I don't have a gig that day. That's right, Hack. Oh, it looks like Brian Cote's registering. So, and we got Kinky Dong in the house. I ran into him on Lando's stream yesterday. Lando, if you're catching this at all, awesome, happy birthday. The big 4-0. Quentin James says, just saw my Bic lighting on the stream. Ha! That's right. And we should mention as well, 1 week after Cosmo Music Fest is Canuck Con at Arden's Music in Belleville, Ontario. Arden's Music, one of the sponsors of the channel.
That's going to be fun.
So if you're part of the Facebook group or you're not part and you are going to attend, give us either there's an event set up in the Facebook group, RSVP in there, or send me an email at canuckswithguitars@gmail.com, which is also written down below in the description. And let us know, because if you're not on Facebook or something like that, just so we can plan ahead as far as seating and eating. That's going to be a fun time. Larry was asking about that at practice this week.
Ah, you can't see that. Boom! Yeah, that's right. After Cosmo Music Fest. You should be too, if you're, in the Southern Ontario-ish region.
Let's see. What's up, Doc? Says, can't decide if I want to put a black guard on my Sunburst Tele Modern Deluxe P90 or leave it white. Opinions. So it's a Sunburst. How about a tortoiseshell?
Yeah, that look pretty sport.
And some Ben Coombs P90s.
See, I still wish
I always give him a hard time about that.
I still wish you would have been nearby when I picked up the $14,000 PRS and got a picture of it. And also a look in the sales rep's face.
Yeah, that was priceless. or the fact that
there's absolutely no signage here that says "Do not touch." This guitar costs more than way more than you can afford. So
Absolute Mayhem, who's not in the chat yet, I think Mayhem was talking about coming up to Cosmo as well, and he was even talking about being our videographer. So then we can just,
rad. Yeah, that'd be great.
But then we could get the B. Like if he was there last year for the B-roll, like us talking to the EVH rep, and we're like, yeah. So you mind if we shoot a video? I'd rather you not. Okay, here, Rich. Here's my phone. Shoot away. We didn't care. We had 150 subscribers.
we really don't like people doing that. We do all our own professional videos of that, and like we have artists that review our product. Oh, okay. Hey, Rich, shoot this. Yeah.
0 F's given.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. It was really
Hack
cool.
says he booked off the weekend for Canuck Con.
Rad.
Hey, there's our lovely singer Andrea, who will be at Canuck Con as well.
Evening, madam.
Just up, brothers. I'm late, but here.
That sounds
you're late. Yeah. Yeah, LOL Tortoise and new pickups. Yeah, LOL. Yeah, there we go. Janice would love to go to Canuck Con. There's RJ, Mad Raj in the house. Good to see you, brother. Some people say to each other. Oh, how about the gray and black swirl? No. I don't like gray and black. It's like that gray and black tortoiseshell like Terry had on that Strat before I sold it to you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
no, I think I still have that pickguard in that
sure
box over there. It's hideous.
Yeah.
If anyone's got an HSH Strat and you want a really ugly pickguard for it, I got one for you. It's atrocious.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks fake, he says. Yeah, exactly. Andre says, haha, so true. I love the stink eye from both of you. Well, I compensate for you. You show up half hour late, I show up half hour early. Will says, Ben, so tell us about what's going on in the band now that Andre is here.
Well,
Kicking ass and taking names.
yeah, got a gig coming up on the 20th of April. And we've got one the following Friday at Sticks and Stones. The one on the 20th is at Fiddler's Green.
Hey, Tanaka.
Tyne-Denaga, Mohawk territory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which there will be video for, hopefully.
Yes, for both, hopefully.
Yep.
And,
especially if Mayhem keeps coming out and shooting stuff.
yeah, so it should be, pretty rad, really good. Having a good time.
Crowbar is like 20th of April, 420. Well, Fiddler's Green might be a retail establishment
of some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We won't call it a garden center, but...
No, they're definitely not a gardening supplies outfitter. No. But, so that should be a lot of fun.
We might even remember the gig.
First outdoor show of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played an outdoor show that early in the year before.
Hell no. Usually, May 2-4 is hard enough.
I'd say May 2-4 is usually your first outdoor gigs of the year.
But at least it's a daytime gig.
Yeah, it's an afternoon gig. It's not an outdoor evening gig. That early.
Aaron asks, how many sets? How long do you dudes play? Gotta be long, lot of songs. Usually like 3 to 4 sets.
And then 45, 50-minute sets.
Yeah, sometimes 5 sets, as required.
Yeah, depends what the gig comes.
The fifth set will be a bit of a shit show, but hey.
Oh, by that point,
it's hard to remember 5 sets of
material. Everyone's usually pissed up at that point anyway. Yeah. Yeah, no, averaging like 3 or 4.
Andre says, I can't freaking wait for our next gig.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Jam I go to is Fiddler's Green here in Stamford, Connecticut. But a much different establishment, Janice.
Much, I'm assuming.
Gotta let the dog out and have a smoke. Be right back, my peeps.
If you were in Denver, I would be like, oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have been invited out to Denver in September.
I don't really have a whole lot of excuses to go to Denver. I mean, good skiing.
Well, Flipside Music.
Flipside.
Captain Michael Smith.
Captain.
Texas Toast Guitars.
Go see an Avalanche game.
See an Avalanche game. And also, Denver Guitar Show is in September.
There's also Denver Guitar Show.
So while we're out there, go shoot some videos.
Well, speaking of which, we have to remember the Ontario Vintage Guitar Show in Burlington this year.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Which was an absolute appalling horror of comedy.
Hey, dude, I forgot you even mentioned about the guitar show in Colburn last year until you showed up at my place. You're like, yeah, we're going to be over. I'm like, for what? The guitar show? I was like, clearly I wasn't sober when you mentioned this.
That was, you know what? I'm glad we went to it.
That
turned out to, for being a small little crappy guitar show in this rinky-dink little town called Colborne, which is just down the road from me here.
Next town over.
And like, I think the town consists of maybe 5 streets. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like 1,500 people in the town.
Oh, I don't think there's that many.
Well, because they consider within
yeah, if you consider within, like, the outskirts. But, like, actually in the town proper, no.
Maybe 1,000. Maybe.
Maybe.
Because there's a couple subdivisions.
I think I guess so.
I'd
put them more.
But the event was held in what, a single sheet curling rink? Maybe 2?
Yeah, that would have been like a 2-sheet curling rink. It was
Max.
a small curling rink. But it was held in a curling rink.
Timothy,
so that tells you how like small and Canadian it was. And there was a 50s Strat. I'd never witnessed.
At that time, the oldest guitar I'd ever touched.
Yeah, I'd never witnessed with my own eyes at 19. I've seen 60s Strats before, and I've held a 60s Strat in my hand. But I I've never even seen a 50 Strat before, and it was a 57 if I'm not mistaken.
No, it isn't, Terry.
Or is it a 58?
Terry, are you thinking of Port Colborne? Because Port Colborne's much bigger. We're talking just Colborne, Ontario. It's a very small town.
Port Colborne is where the Shanahan line comes from. So.
Yeah.
That's, but it's much bigger than Colborne. It's so small it doesn't even get a port status. But
Fender amps, Champion or GT40? GT40 has more effects. If you're gonna go for something that has a bunch of effects in it.
See, it would depend. If you're just going with the combo version, I would say yes. But if you're opting for the head and cab version, I would 100% go with the Champ. I'm surprised I haven't wound up buying one. It's because I don't see them used. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have bought one by now. I think they're great little heads. I've played through one in a Long McQuaid once. Obviously, isn't a great. Really
Mozzie says, unless you Dream Theater 4 songs for a 50-minute set. Or Rush. Or the Grateful Dead.
Yeah?
Hey, Dan of New Jersey's in the house. People saying hey to each other. There we go. Talking pickups in here. How are the effects? I don't know. They're all pretty good these days.
Oh, what the hell's this one to do?
Oh, verify settings.
No.
Go away. Middle of our live stream. Brad Miller has to go. He says, gotta run, have a great weekend. Well, before you go, if you're a fan of 80s rock and shredding, tune in this Sunday at 8 p.m. when we have Jamie the Law Trevino, Kramer artist, coming on for a hangout. We're going to be showing off a buttload of guitars that are going to be oozing 80s goodness. Like, well, you saw the racks. And animal print guitars and striped guitars.
If you like your 80s shred-tastic fantasticness, you are going to be creaming your jeans.
Yep. It's going to be good. Oh! Alright, Lionheart's back. He says, okay, I'm back. You can continue now. So, we were just talking amongst ourselves. Very cool. Love them Kramers. Yeah. Everyone does. Everyone digs the Kramers. I think we're all nostalgic, that's why. Oozing 80s. Are the guitars sticky? Maybe. Maybe. Will says he'll be there. Awesome. $1 a.m. for you, Mozzie. Oh, clocks go forward this weekend. Right.
Oh, right, yeah. The rest of the world is stuck with common sense.
Yeah.
There are times when I wish we...
Oh, yeah, RJ, that was on our end. That was strange. Video locked up and no audio. Had to refresh to get back on. Yeah, the iPad all of a sudden wanted Apple ID settings. And decides to pause all activity until you answer it.
My wife and I constantly have the bone of contention over Apple versus non-Apple products. I was a huge Mac supporter back in the day when it was Mac versus PC. I was like, oh, Mac, man. Like, I'm not a gamer. I don't give a rat about that. Like,
right.
But when it comes to phones, I hate Apple with a passion. I just can't stand them. They're the most non-user-friendly, non-intuitive, non-caveman-friendly.
Kinky Dawn says, I wish there were more music stores in my town. Don't we all? Well, we have 2 in town. Although I only go to 1. Then we have 2 in Belleville.
Yeah, I was going to say, within a half-hour's drive of us, we've got like, pretty good.
Yeah, because I don't think Picker's Paradise is still open.
No, they closed down last year, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad. Then again, we only went in there once every 5 years, so.
I've been in there a couple times. Yeah. Say, me and Babs went in there one day. We were at the...
Open one? No, I'm not opening a retail music store. First of all, you need a lot of money for startup. Because there's a certain thing called minimum orders from every company. You got to order 30 guitars. That's a lot of guitars. Unless you go used. And that was always an idea. If I came into some money, just open up basically a place for us to hang out, and who cares if we sell any actual gear, but just have gear that you're sick of using, whatever.
I've wanted to host a gear swap
Well,
for
kind of like,
ages. I asked
what's his name that did the work on Larry's Space that used to have the place down to Arpeggios.
a
A lot of it, when he first opened it, a lot of it was Brent
McNall. There we are.
Right.
Yes.
You know, a lot of it was his personal collection. He just put up, and then some of it was for sale, some of it wasn't.
I've wanted to do a gear swap
Derek.
for ages. I talked to Hippie Daryl in Oshawa about it.
Right.
And I was like, hey, do you think you'd be interested? He's like, man, they're a really cool idea, and usually you get to see some pretty cool stuff. And he's like, but like, they wind up costing you a bunch of money.
All right, we got 51 people watching. Can we get 50 thumbs up so it can be 5150 again like last week?
He's like, they either wind up being poorly organized and like poorly attended, or they wind up like costing you a bunch of money that you don't make back. And he's like, so it's, you know, once they get going, like they become established and good. And he goes, but starting them up.
And you got to offer lessons, I think, because that's where the moneymaker is.
You're talking a shop or running a gear swap?
A shop.
Oh yeah, no. If you're not offering lessons, you're out of business in like 6 months. Like you can't make your bones on retail.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. You.
And plus, then you have an in-house clientele as well, because they're going to buy a guitar to start the lessons and stuff. So they'll buy a starter kit, and if the kid goes through say 3 years of lessons, they want to upgrade from that Affinity Squire to a Mexican or something.
Get an amp and all that stuff. But yeah, no, it's
Thank you, Lionheart.
I couldn't imagine being a retail shop right now doing guitars and not offering lessons. I just it would seem like such a risky gamble.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you focus on? You know, it's like you bring in a bunch of cheap Chinese stuff that'll
example,
move.
though, like that shop though, as awesome as it was, and it was like
nobody would buy anything in there.
One of the coolest music shops I've ever been in, bar none. But it was like he had these super amazing like boutique lines that like you just couldn't find anywhere.
Yeah, like he had Duesenberg 10 years ago.
Like he had Duesenberg, he had Eastwood, he had Gretsch before even L&M was carrying.
Yeah, he had Gretsch when they were still American made because they were all like $5,000.
They were like like nice Gretches.
What about topless?
But the thing is like as much as we have a very thriving music, you know, retail purchasing consumers in this area, which I mean Sean can attest to, they just that niche, that step above the $1,200 guitar is such a narrow niche that you can't really make.
Well, plus a lot of it is like, you know, it's like, okay, let's say
he had a wicked atmosphere.
You got
he had the coffee shop out back. They had weekly jams and stuff, and like it was like the total. Awesome
the cool consignment stuff.
Wicked consignment stuff. He had his old 60s P bass on display. Like, it was a rad shop. Like, just totally, like, everything a cool guitar shop should be. But he didn't offer lessons.
No, he didn't.
And, not that I think, like, lessons would have saved it. It's just, he had such a niche market that it just, I really wanted to see the shop thrive, because it was such a wicked shop, and he's such a cool dude, but it just... I didn't know. I was like, I don't think the area has enough of a demographic of that particular guitar purchasing clientele.
Lionheart says, open a Canadian version of Sweetwater. We have one. Cosmo.
I've got Cosmo and L&M.
Having been to both stores last year, I can tell you, Cosmo doesn't have the online presence only because the U.S. is such a high populous country.
Oh, yeah. They're just oversaturated.
But I will say... Sweetwater is not the same to us that it is to you guys. Like, we can't do payments on stuff. We have to buy flat out, unless you have a U.S. address.
And credit
to be in credit account. They're not set up. You can't even register from outside of the U.S. for their Sweetwater's Gear Fest. Like, when I registered last year, I had to use an American address. Because they kept bringing up, they're like, oh, Ben out of Ohio? I'm like, sure. Because I couldn't remember what address I used. Mozzie says some people still want to hold and play a guitar before buying. I'm that way. I want to see if it's got any mojo.
I have bought guitars sight unseen online, and
hey, there's Jamie, the Law. I was just plugging in. He says, "Hey folks, setting up my guitars for my show on Saturday."
Cool.
Awesome.
The key is you have to buy it from a place with a very good return policy.
Yeah.
And
And Sweetwater does have a very good return policy.
And that's kind of the key about buying sight unseen. Like, and to that though is, just, you see, it's kind of an odd thing. Like, I don't often really play a guitar a lot before I buy it. Like most of my guitars come up in used deals and that, and like I'll go check it out and alright, yeah, it works, it intonates, the neck's not corkscrewed, right, here's the money, and then drive home.
We got Sean Pierce Johnson in the house.
Like, he
says, hello my neighbors from the untamed Great White North. Rock on.
Hello, hello.
If you're into gear demos, especially pedal demos, everyone should go and subscribe to Sean Pierce Johnson. He does some amazing demos. Mm-hmm. And also, I heard rumors, Sean, are you going live tonight? If so, can you let us know in the chat? Because I'm going to stay up to watch that. I always do when he goes live, which is usually at midnight. Mm-hmm. He says, oh, shucks, thanks, dude. Dude! I was a fan of your content before we ever became friends, so... Definitely, yeah. His gear demos are great. Like, he can actually make a fuzz pedal demo, and I go, ooh, maybe I'll buy that. And I'm not going to buy a fuzz pedal, but I might when after I hear him play it. Yes, sir, I am back live tonight. So there you go. Again, everyone should subscribe to Sean Pierce Johnson, and we'll all see you in his live chat later tonight. Lionheart loves Sweetwater. I live less than an hour away. Could go there and lose hours of time like an alien abduction. Yeah, dude, I get that. I get that. I've been there. I've seen it. It's awesome. Won't be going to GearFest this year, maybe next year. That's what I'm thinking. Because after the Cosmo event, everything goes towards CanuckCon and then NAMM. Which I'm thinking you may not be able to go to NAMM again this year. Possibly. We're not saying why, but...
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Because it'd be... Yeah. Financially tight, but time-wise, probably doable.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, we don't know how much free time you would have in mid to late January.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'm actually watching this right now in between shooting videos. So much stuff to do, but this is a good time. Right on, Sean. If you go next year, I'll buy you a beer, Lionheart says. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I may be in touch because I may need your address to register. Hey, we got Showman Blues in the house, Ben, so I guess both of you have 2 Friedmans each, eh? God, I wish. Showman swears there's a conspiracy that Friedman is supplying YouTubers with Friedman guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, I will say he has sent out a few to a handful of YouTubers, but...
Yeah.
We're not on that list.
No. We haven't made it.
Dave, if you're watching...
We haven't made it to that status yet.
Mark Kazansky, if you're watching, maybe plant a little bug in Dave's ear. He would like a Cali. I'd like a T-Series. Just saying. Your build's coming along quite nicely.
Oh, isn't it? Isn't it? Although I did just find out the most disappointing news. That it's not coming down until he's finished the next one.
Oh, really? Who's he building another one for then?
He's Modi's signature.
Oh, really? A second Modi signature?
Mm-hmm. This one's called the Modi.
Oh.
It's that one I was showing you, the kind of F mandolin, PRS kind of thing, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once it's done, he'll be coming down. He's like, I'll be bringing it in. We'll jam.
Sean,
but yeah, it's
he says he can confirm Friedman is
not
not supplying everyone, and I know Dave personally.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's out in your neck of the woods, isn't he?
Let's we can show that off here. So
Showman is going to look at a Friedman tomorrow. Driving 4 hours to go look at one. Crowbar says he wishes Friedman would make unrelic guitars. He does. You just have to ask them not to relic it.
So that's the current progress on my Reno Fin Custom build. Let's see if we can get the glare out of it. There we go.
I love that little curl on the headstock.
You can see the fretboard. Can I get the fretboard in focus? I can get the fretboard in focus. There we go.
With those crazy bright inlays.
Not well, but it's kind of in focus. Yeah, so I'm super, super ecstatic about that. I can't wait to get it. It's fabulous. It's an absolute work of art. It's an absolute dream come true. Oh, there we go. Now I found the perfect amount of shade to show off the fretboard. There we go. You can even tell that they're P90s there. See?
Brax Stubblefield.
Yeah, super,
Welcome.
super groovy.
He says, oh, that's very cool.
I cannot wait to play it.
That's a good question, Crowbar.
Super
I don't
excited.
know. I think the unrelic guitar should be cheaper because, like you say, less labor cost. Or less labor, period.
Pardon me.
Andrea says, dang, that is one good-looking guitar. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. It's essentially, it's the brother guitar to my signature guitar. In
It
many
is
ways.
the Reno Fin Alpha model.
Is that
Model number... No, that's what he's calling it.
Oh!
That's his first production model guitar.
Oh!
It is model number 001.
Ah. So not necessarily the Richard Shanahan signature guitar,
No, but
you get the first production.
It is Reno Fin Alpha number 001.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah. Which, because you had been designing a Les Paul Jr. a while back.
I had been.
So that could, in fact, be the signature guitar.
I could work more towards that. The question is whether I'd want to do that or realize my dream of finally making everything I think a PRS should be.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of cool
The
things,
Melting Jazz Master.
did you see what I shared today?
Yay, brothers for life. Of course, Andrea. We have way too much dirt on each other to ever break up. And again, yeah, the Honey Badger documentary, that would be on Netflix as well.
So, I was having a conversation the other day with a friend of mine
Yes.
about, because there was this really neat thing Juxtapose had shared, and there was this new
Nice,
artist
Quentin.
piece. It was a 3D piece, so you take your like phone or whatever.
Just before you do that,
Yeah.
Sean Pierce Johnson just says, anyways, guys, back to shooting videos. Ben will see you tonight if everyone else wants to join. 9 p.m. Pacific, so midnight Eastern. So there you go.
Groovy?
Yes,
Take care. Good night.
I'll be there.
But yeah, so it was this cool 3D piece where you like kind of took it and you look around and all, and it was done like a giant mandala, except you're inside of this globe and it's just everywhere you look. The art piece just stretches on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying how it was like really cool, and I was like, you know, the future in art galleries and that is going to be like doing virtual galleries and that, where you just like pay your fee or whatever, and then you pop on your VR
Sure.
thing and like you don't actually have to fly to France and get a hotel and go to the gallery and.
Sort of the
It's like-
modeling app of
Right.
art
He's
gallery
like,
tours.
that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm like, no, it will. I'm like, as people embrace the technology more, it'll make art more accessible. And he's like, that's not gonna happen. So Christie's auction house posted today the virtual 3D gallery for the David Gilmour guitar auction. Now I'm not, and this is really intensive, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time showing it off. But for anybody who hasn't seen it, let's see if I can maximize our level of focus here. Alright, come on out. Alright, so you're in the Christie's gallery. No, let's see. There we are. You're in the Christie's gallery house, and you can tour around. And I'm doing a poor job of it, but you can tour around and check out the entire auction exhibit. And you can go from room to room. And I just thought this was the absolute
Hey, Joe.
neatest freaking thing ever. When I saw it posted today, and I've been just playing around with it all day because it's just the neatest thing ever.
Ron Limber is out of Defiance. I drove through Defiance on my way to Sweetwater, and that would be Sam Hornish's hometown.
I highly recommend checking it out if you're into groovy stuff like that. It is super, super neat. And what I found really cool about it is that probably the only time in my life I'm ever going to be able to sit and sort of like paw about and scrutinize in detail the 0001 Strat. Because it's up for auction.
Yeah.
There it is in one of the rooms. You're just sort of like scrolling around and boom, there it is in the corner. And it's like, there it is. So it's super neato. I don't know.
Trevor says she'd make
excited the
live
guitar
streams
geek
at
in
that
me
school
today.
tomorrow. God, I sound like a high school kid.
Yeah, it excited the hell out of the guitar geek in me. It's super fun and neat. Christie's Auction House shared it on Facebook. I think I shared it in the Canucks group. If I didn't, I will after the show. But check it out. It's super fun.
Joe Hervey says, I'm going to listen and play my guitar. I've been working on it. Love the heavy-ass tone I get from my active pickups. Well, there you go. Laz has to head out. Promised to grill some chicken for dinner, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your grilled chicken. Terry Himes is in the house. Hey, all. Good to see you. Let's see here. Guys are talking about living in Ohio. Cream City Music Store has that on the website too, Rich. Todd Flower says.
It's super neat. I happened upon it today and was like, oh, this
Lion
is too
says
cool.
he's in Defiance almost every day. Yeah, I just remember driving along the highway and I'm like, Defiance. And I have a thing for people's hometowns. I just remember Sam Hornish is from there. Speaking of which, there's my cousin Doug, who told me you do not high-five an Indy 500 champion. He says, what are you drinking? Welcome to the dark side. Yeah, I picked up some Bud Light because I was in a rush. I couldn't find the damn blue at the liquor store the other day. So I just picked up a 6 of these.
Oh, that's saving your clicking. Hey, Doug, let's Cheap Trick playing Waterloo. I'm thinking about coming down for that show. I couldn't remember what it was. There was tough stuff about it. She was like, yeah, sure. When is it? I'm like, I can't remember.
Well, he's going to see Cheap Trick in 50
Well,
some
that's
odd
I know.
days,
He's
right?
like, I'm gonna see it before that and don't have to wait.
Let's see here. Brian from Oregon says hey to us. Hey, Brian from Oregon. Joe Hervey says
Hello.
metal. Or actually, as Henning would say, metal! 2 minutes and I got to bounce. Lord knows these kids aren't putting themselves to bed, Aaron says. Yeah, we're wrapping up in about that as well.
Yep. Just getting near there.
Crowbar, Labatt's Blue. I call that the best hockey beer. Yeah, I usually drink blue. And Hack's back. Jim's Corner is in the house. Good evening, guys.
Hello.
Got a lot of people jumping in at the end here.
Coming in for the final minutes.
All right. I think we're caught up on the chat. I'm just going to quickly, I don't have any notes because I haven't had any notes in months, but I may have taken some screenshots. So we got Jamie coming on Sunday. Then the next live show for us is on Monday.
Mm-hmm. The first
I got a couple
show.
of gear demos coming out over the next couple of days because I'm just seeing photos from the thumbnail. So the Outlaw 24K Reverb and the, I guess now vintage because I'm old, Boss CS2 Compressor Sustainer. And beyond that, that's pretty much it there. Okay, yeah, there's no notes or anything. Those are shipping addresses. I'm not giving those away. Ha ha ha.
No.
Alright. Oh, chat's flying. Maybe I'm not caught up anymore. We're just wrapping things up, Joe. Maybe, well, not next week, but the week after we could probably play something for you. Let's see here. Saying hey to each other. Van L. Singh has to go. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Awesome. 48 viewers, 44 thumbs ups. Okay. Should be a Steve from Boston stream this week, yes. And another good stream, somebody was asking when I was live yesterday, a Wednesday night live stream that's good. RJ Ronquillo, if you're not familiar with him, everyone should check out RJ's channel. He's a guitar player out of Nashville. Really good player. He's going to be doing live streams every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Really?
So you mentioned that last night. Wicked audience, Michael Culin says. That's right, and you're one of them, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. All right. Everyone say, yeah, RJ's great. Well, yeah, see, Aaron and Todd, I hang out with you guys in RJ's chat, so yeah. Of course you guys would think it. Thanks, Ben and Richard. Enjoyed it. Just came from watching Dave Byron here locally. Great talent and works really hard. Yeah. Dave's
awesome.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
Who else is live?
Checking in.
Well, tonight, in approximately 3 hours, Joe, John Pierce Johnson will be live. And I believe Guitar Hack may be taking over this time slot next week.
Ah, cool.
You know, push it back from 7 to 8 start.
Yeah.
So,
Groovy.
great way to keep it positive. That's right. And thank you, everyone, for
Keep the time slot occupied.
I didn't see anything bad in the chat or anything. That's awesome. You guys have been awesome in the chat tonight. So, do you have anything to add, sir?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty much fine.
Awesome. Well, that's a good show, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Sunday night, Jamie the Law Trevino will be on, showing off a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Hack just said he's switching 8 o'clock next week.
Groovy.
And then the next night, tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern for Brian Cote.
Mm-hmm.
And that will lead into us at 8 p.m. And then, I don't know after that. That's what we got. I can be bad real quick and spice things up if you want, Lionheart says. No, that's good. See you all Monday. Good job, Canucks. Monday cool, making Monday cool again. Thanks, Andrea.
We're taking it back.
That's right. Actually, a few
For
people,
too long,
have
Mondays
said
sucked.
Mondays have worked better for them. So we may have more people tuning in live as a result.
For too long, Mondays
You're more than welcome.
sucked.
Vincent says thanks to us.
Starting this Monday, they suck no more.
That's
For
right.
at least an hour.
So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're new, please subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified whenever we put out some content. If you're returning, that's awesome because you tolerate us. So please leave a thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already. It's much appreciated. So hold those doors open. Let the guy in ahead of you in traffic because it's always a guy cutting you off.
Mm-hmm.
Do good things and good things will happen to you because karma is real. I'm living the dream. He's living the dream. Andrea's living the dream. Terry's living the dream. Will Varela is definitely living the dream. And so is Aaron from Elvis Band.
Okay.
So there you go, folks. Have a good night.